Alright, welcome back to the next video. And in this video, I'm going to share with you pretty much what are the differences between having a retainer model for your agency or having a pay per show, and what are the pros, what are the cons. So pretty much like anything, there's always like the pros and cons to anything, including having a retainer and also having a pay per show model. So I'm going to break down everything here for you, what it is, how does it work. All right, so for essentially the retainer model for agency is that, of course, you have the business owner who's going to pay you $1,000 per month in order for you to get them more clients. So whether you're doing that like through Facebook ads, Google ads, YouTube ads, so they're going to pay you a retainer plus ad spend. So let's break that down here. So you have the retainer and the pay per show model. So for the retainer, let's say the client is paying you $1,000 per month for you to manage their Facebook ads, and they're gonna give you $800 like for their ad spend. So $800 for ad spend, right? So in total, they're paying you $1,800 per month. Right, so $1,800 per month. Now, let's say for that $1,800, what are they getting? So for this $1,800, let's say if you're guaranteeing 30 new client opportunities per month, and if not, we'll refund your money back, or we work until we do hit this guarantee. So it's 30 new client opportunity. Right, 30 new client opportunities. Right. Now for the pay per show model, it's a bit different than this. So for the pay per show model, the way this works is that there's a software called Allen, and this software Allen, pretty much what it does is, rather than you taking let's say when you're running Facebook ads for the client, rather than taking them onto a landing page, you take them onto a software called Allen. And pretty much what Allen does, this automation software or artificial intelligence software, what it does is it pretty much works the lead for you and for the client. So rather than have someone in working the lead, texting the lead or emailing the lead or something, the artificial intelligence software pretty much nurtures the lead. Now, from my understanding, there's like a setup fee that they would charge to your client to have them set up on this software. But of course, you would pretty much charge the client a fee in order for you to pretty much cash flow in for yourself, but also to pay for that software in order to get them set up on there. So Allen, they charge $1,000 as a setup fee. Now, in order for you to pretty much cash flow up front, you at least are gonna want to charge them at least $1,000. This is for yourself. So 1,000 goes for Allen, 1,000 is for you. So it's 2,000. This is just a one-time setup fee that your new client will pay. So this is just to get them set up on that automation software. So it's just a one-time fee, one-time setup fee. Okay. Now, since you're relying on the pay per show model, which means that you only get compensated based on the appointments that you generate for your clients. So whether these are Zoom calls, phone meetings, or in-person meetings, you're relying your income, or the money that you're gonna make, on the amount of appointments that you're able to generate for your client. So this means you're gonna have to charge them a significant amount for ad spend in order for you to make this happen. So let's say that's at least minimum of $1,000. Sometimes it could be maybe even up to like $1,500, if not more. but on a minimum, you're probably gonna charge them at least 1,000, right? Now, so let's say it's 1,000 for ad spend. And also, so apart from the $1,000 setup fee that Allen charges, they charge $25 per lead. Okay. So again, you're gonna forward this charge to your client. All right. Now, in order for you to pretty much take home a good amount, you're at least gonna want to charge them something for yourself. So you're gonna charge them. Let's say, in your case, you're gonna charge them 50. So in total, the client's gonna pay $75 per month for each lead that shows, whether it's an appointment in person, a Zoom meeting, or a phone call. It's $75 per show. So pretty much what Recover is, it's a $2,000 one-time setup fee, $1,000 that they're gonna pay every single month, and you will only be compensated if you pretty much have the leads show up in person or through a Zoom call or a phone meeting. Okay, so you're compensated for this. So this is the pretty much how the retainer model and the pay per show model works. Retainer model is just just $1,000 every single month, $800 ad spend, and the guarantee is 30. Here, essentially, of course, you're gonna have a guarantee. Let's say if that's 20 new client opportunities. However, the client is going to be probably more comfortable with this one because they're only going to compensate you only if they get the leads to show up. That's it. So let's say in this example, you generate, if you have $1,000 in ad spend for the month, and you were to generate, let's say 100 leads. 100 leads. Now, out of those 100 leads, of course, throughout the, everything that happens on the back end, the conversations, the nurturing. Let's say if you out of these 100 leads, you have 15 show up in person. All right. So this means you're gonna be paid $75 for each of those leads, which should put you at $1,125. So this is how much you'll get paid for 1 month. All right. So if you have 15 leads show up in person, and the client's gonna pay you $75 for each lead, you're getting paid $1,125. Okay. Now, of course, out of all these 15, now all of these are gonna convert. So let's say only 7, that's actually 50% conversion right there. So 7, and your client, let's say, has a $400 service that they upsold them to. So they make $2,800. So that's how much they make, $2,800. Now keep in mind they paid you $1,000 for the ad spend and $1,125 for each of those leads. So if we subtract $2,125, they profited $675 for that month. Man, which is okay, but of course, you want to get your clients of course, this is just worst case scenario. let's say out of the 100 leads, maybe you get like 25 to show up in person, and out of those 25, let's say 15, convert into paying clients. So that's different now. So with this model, the con of this is that your client will have lower profit margins. The reason being is because since they're paying for each person that comes into their business, and of course not everyone's going to convert into a paying client. So what happens is even they still had to pay for each of them. So what happens is it's actually a lower margin for them. So let's say in this scenario, you generate 15 paying clients at $6,000. So this is how much your client makes. And in this scenario, 15 convert. Now, if out of the 15, your client made 6,000. If we subtract that by 2,000, actually, yeah, this is what I was meaning. So they're not going to be paying you 1,125. So they'll be paying you, out of these 25 here, they're going to pay you 75 for each of those. So let's see how much that is. So it actually goes up. So it's 1,875. So in total, this has cost your client $2,875. And your client makes $3,125. So with this model, it's attractive because you minimize the risk for your client, because they're only going to be paying you just the ad spend every month. That's it. And they're not going to be paying you a retainer, and they're only going to pay you unless if they have the leads actually show up in person to the meeting, or a phone call, or a Zoom call. So the downside is lower profit margins, because of course the more leads you have come into the business, the more they will have to pay you. Okay, and which means the more they have to pay you. Of course, this means, that if you have people show up into the business, it's highly likely that they may buy, but, let's say if it's, like 50%, 40% conversion, of course, their margins are going to be smaller, but this is pretty much, the con of it. I know some business owners that prefer this model. I know some business owners that would prefer that model. Now, with this model, the pro is it's only fixed. However, some business owners don't like the retainer model because they feel like it's risky, because they're gonna pay you this amount every single month. And however, as I mentioned, there's different ways you could pretty much give your client a guarantee. For example, if you have a guarantee, if we don't hit this guarantee, this is what you're gonna this is our guarantee for you. You're gonna get your money back, or you get the next month for free or something, just to kind of ease that the risk for your client. So both are good. There's pros and cons to both. With this one, the con about this is that sometimes you could pretty much get them a huge return on investment. And since you're only locked down to this specific price that you're charging them, of course, you probably would want ultimately, part of that. With the pay per show model, this allows you, because if you're able to generate, lots of appointments, and your client has a huge return on investment, well, so will you as well, because you're getting paid on that performance. But also, it's of course, smaller margins for your clients. However, the client doesn't take on a lot of risk, and this one, the client sort of, takes the risk because, not every single month, you probably won't hit that guaranteed every single month, and you probably would have to cut into your margins, like the retainer, in order for you to pretty much, hit this guarantee, because, that's how pretty much, marketing works. It has its ups and downs. So, of course, there's pros and cons to both of these. However, if you're just starting, definitely you would have to start off with the retainer model, because first you want to prove that you're able to generate the leads first for your client before you switch on to the pure performance base. Because if you don't crack down the retainer model first, it's highly unlikely that you crack down the pay per show, because you're only going to get compensated strictly on if you perform. So this is why I definitely recommend, if you're just starting off, definitely do the retainer model. If you already have some experience here in the retainer model, pretty much have already proven that you're able to generate consistent amount of leads or appointments for your clients through that actually show up in person through Zoom or a phone call, then definitely should transition to the pay per show model. So I hope you found this video helpful for you. As always, if you have any questions or comments, drop down below. And of course, if you have any suggestions on the next video that you'd like for me to cover, then definitely leave your comment below, and I'll cover that in the next video. And into the next video.